Welcome back to the 25 Days of Whiskey Christmas. Today is day 11, December 11th, 2023. Did you know that the number 11 is my favorite number? It is. I even have a tattoo on my arm that my friend Mike drew of the 11 of clubs. If you get why that's funny, let me know. Today's bourbon for the 25 Days of Whiskey Christmas, day 11, is Weller Antique 107. If you remember, we had a Weller just a few days ago, and I need to do a redaction. Is that what it's called? Or a retraction? I don't know. One of those two is right. In that video the other day, where we did the special Weller Reserve, or Weller Special Reserve, sorry, which is the green bottle, I mentioned the Weller Rainbow. And I mentioned that a certain color was a certain bourbon in the Weller Rainbow. Well, I was wrong, and I'm sorry. If you want to know what the Weller Rainbow is, I'm going to put it like right here. Special Reserve is green. Antique 107 is red. Single Barrel is orange. 12 year is black. CYPB is white. And the one that I messed up is Foolproof, and that comes in blue. But again, today, just as a reminder, since I'm just rambling on, today is Weller Antique 107. Let's try it out. Weller Antique 107. This is some say this is the pinnacle. There are some arguments about that, but in the Weller line, there are some people that will hunt this all over the place because of how good it is. If you're in the bourbon world and you've ever heard of Pappy Van Winkle or anything of the Van Winkles, there are thoughts that some of these mash bills, these undisclosed mash bills for Weller, are very similar or the same even as some of the Pappy Van Winkles. And a lot of people will do a poor man's Pappy by blending 107 with some Special Reserve or maybe some 12 and different variations to try to get that same flavor profile. I don't know about all that. I've never had the privilege of having a Pappy, I don't think. But I'll tell you what, the one time that I've had this 107 was my friend Todd, and he accidentally left a bottle at my house that had been, it was about half empty, but he didn't have to do that. Knowing how hard it is to find now, a lot of props out to him. But let's go in for the nose. You're done hearing me talk about it. Oh, follow with me a second. Do you know what sugar smells like when you're baking? Do you know what that smell is? Not the vanilla, not the chocolate, not the like when you're baking cookies. What sugar smells like when it's baking. That's what this smells like. It's got some fruits, like dark fruits, probably a cherry kind of thing. A lot of people say that the Weller line is like a dark cherry or a cherry cola. I'm not getting vanilla on this nose. A lot of people say that they get vanilla on this. I'm going to go with molasses. I think maybe some molasses. But that's subtle. That's kind of underneath that smell of baking sugar. Yeah, so like some dark fruits, like when a cherry cobbler's been cooking and that smell and the sugar on top as it kind of melts. That's what I'm going to go with. Let's go in for the taste. I'm going to do it again. Very similar. That carries over. That is a fruit, sugar. There's some vanilla in this taste. Yeah, that is. I think this is the first one where the nose has been very, very similar to the palate. Here's the other thing that I'm just kind of learning. I'm trying to figure out in my not very smart brain, or not very, well, I'm probably smart. I'm not very educated though. Yeah, there's a difference. I'm starting to understand finishes. I'm starting to understand what's left in my mouth. And this is the first one that I've had that has a finish in my mouth of tobacco. A lot of people talk about that tobacco taste or even nose with certain types of bourbon. This is in the finish. There's also some cinnamon. There's also like some cinnamon candy. Yeah, I don't want to come off. I don't want this to come off like this is just super sweet. It is, but I've had sweeter. But this is sweet. This is not a. There's a little bit of oak, but it's not tannic at all. It's not offensive. It's not bitter. Yeah, that fruit's back. Fruit's kind of in the foreground. Kind of melts into the sweetness. Let's read about it a little bit. Or I'll just keep drinking that and I'll talk about it all day because that's really good. Weller Antique 107 is a straight bourbon. It's distilled and bottled by Buffalo Trace, which is owned by Sazerac. Seems to be a lot of it, which is funny. I only owned one bottle that was owned or by Buffalo Trace or Sazerac before I moved to Ohio. Now I have the majority of them are ended up in this list, which is funny. Comes in at 107, which is the 107 in the name. There is no age statement. And it's undisclosed mash bill, but it's Buffalo Trace's wheated mash bill. The MSRP is $56. Good luck trying to find this. There is a special release of this coming up in Ohio, and it'll sell for $56. But if you almost always have to go to the secondary unless you get lucky. And the secondary market for this is between $160 to $100, I wrote it down, $160 to $170 on the secondary market. This is not a higher end thing, but it absolutely tastes like a higher end thing. Antique 107, if you ever have an opportunity to buy it, buy it. Where's my ranking? This is a sit on the back shelf and share with my friends. This is not something I'm going to drink every day. I'm going to hold on to this bottle for a number of years. It does take me a lot of years to drink a bottle. It might even be if I have some friends in from town, so we'll call that royalty. So a 3 and a 4 level for me. Share with friends and reserve for royalty. So that's it. Antique 107. Appreciate you. Thank you for accepting the redaction/retraction, whichever is correct. And Merry Christmas for day 11.